A couple years ago, I go out to Vegas for the NFL draft. And while I was there, I watched the Sixers knock off the Toronto Raptors and advance the second round of the playoffs. And it's there where I find out that Joel Embiid broke his face. Again. Yeah, because the guy just can't catch a break. I went from feeling pretty good about the future of the Sixers and the future of the Eagles to feeling pretty shitty, as you can probably imagine. And we all know what happened in the next round. Well, I go out to Vegas this past weekend. It's my Fantasy Football League's 20th anniversary. We wanted to do something big for it, so a couple of us decided, you know what, let's go out to Vegas for the draft. And really, it was only 4 out of 12, but still, it was a good time. But it's in Vegas where I find out that Zack Wheeler has a blood clot in his shoulder. And at first, I'm like, well, damn, that sucks. And then I start thinking about it. I'm like, I know somebody with a blood clot. I know someone who suffered from blood clots. I know somebody that I played hockey with who had suffered from blood clots, and they can't play hockey anymore. Now, granted, I'm comparing a beer league hockey guy to a professional athlete, and it's not like the professional athlete will have to retire because of this, but still, it's very concerning. What's even more concerning is the fact that this cannot happen at a worse time. We are talking mid-August, with the playoffs right around the corner. Now, my big concern isn't just the fact that the Philadelphia Phillies are going to end up losing their best pitcher, by far. One of the best pitchers in all of baseball for the rest of the season. It was, I think, Dr. David Chow, the sports doc on Twitter. He tweeted out, like, best case scenario, he's back in 3 months. So essentially, he is going to miss the regular season and all of the playoffs. That is the best case scenario for the Phillies, 3 months. But you factor in that he won't be pitching. He'll have to build up his arm strength. He's done. He is completely done. And then I start thinking about the trickle-down effect. And me and my buddies had this discussion while we were in Vegas. Who starts game one? Playoffs roll around. Let's say the Phillies have clinched. Who's going to start that first playoff game? Now, I'll ask you guys out there, okay? And please, put in the comment section of who you think will start game one, because I think there's an obvious choice, and then I think there's what the Phillies will end up doing. Now, before I get into what I think they'll end up doing, I'm going to ask you a trivia question. 2008, Phillies end up winning the World Series, right? Who was the ace of the Philadelphia Phillies in 2008? Give you a second. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you got it. It was Cole Hamels, right? Best pitcher on the team by far. Wasn't a surprise. He came into the season and everybody knew he was going to be the best pitcher on the team. He had come up in 2006. He solidified himself in 2007. 2008, he cements himself as the ace of the team. He ends up winning the NLCS MVP, the World Series MVP by winning those 2 games. Like, he was it. Who was the opening day starter? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it wasn't Cole Hamels. No. If you remember, it was Brett Myers. Because Brett Myers had finished the season in 2007 as the closer. And he actually really liked being the closer of the Phillies. He liked it a lot. But the Phillies, heading into 2008, they desperately needed another starter, and they had just traded for Brad Lidge, which left Brett Myers without a job. So it's like, well, Brett, just be a starter again. And Brett didn't like that. So the Phillies, to appease Brett Myers, made him the opening day starter because he had been the opening day starter before. It was like, hey, he's the veteran. We'll have him go out there. He'll start opening day. And if you remember, Brett Myers was so bad that year that he actually got sent down to Double-A. And he came back and he pitched some pretty key games for the Phillies. And he was really good for him. And obviously, we all remember the at-bat against CC Sabathia and him pitching really well in the playoffs. But the fact is, the Phillies did not go with their best pitcher. They went with the veteran to appease the vet. And that is why my big fear is in about 6 weeks, when October baseball rolls around, your game one starter is not going to be Christopher Sanchez, who is the Phillies' best pitcher at this point. No, it's going to be Aaron Nola. Aaron 6.5 ERA Nola. That will be your opening day starter. Your opening series for the play, whatever you want to call it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Hit thumbs down for that. But he will be your opening starter. He will be your game one guy. And we're going to get to hear Rob Thompson come out. I don't even think it'll be his choice, but we'll get to hear him come out and say all the BS. Oh, we have the utmost confidence in Nola. You know, he's been here before. He's been a big game pitcher for us before. We know he can do it again. We like his experience in the playoffs. Yada, yada, yada. And he will be lying to you, and I think in a way he'll be lying to himself. And in reality, this will be Dave Dumbrossski calling down to the manager and saying, hey, that guy I gave $24.5 million to, he's going to start instead of Christopher Sanchez. And I'll ask you guys, does anybody have any confidence in Aaron Nola going into the playoffs? Because I sure as shit don't. Now, granted, I've been shitting on him all season long. And unfortunately, I can't even cold takes expose myself because I've been dead on right with it. You know, they send him down with a phantom ankle injury. He's on the 60-day DL. They try to get his mind right. They put him in AAA. They bring him up, and he was good for 2 innings. And then he imploded, as he always does. And who can't sit there and see a scenario where the Phillies go down in a best-of-5 series, best of 5, they end up going down game 1 because Aaron Nola gives up 6 runs in 3.5 innings. All because we had to force Aaron Nola in there because you gave him a bad contract. And if you don't believe me, the proof is in the pudding because Jordan Romano still continues to pitch meaningful games for this team, even though his ERA is 7.7 something. And I haven't looked it up, but I'm willing to bet that he has got to be up there when you factor in the amount of games he's appeared in and innings. I'm sorry, in his ERA, he's got to be one of the worst in baseball. And why is he still on this team? Why does he continue to take up a roster spot instead of literally anybody else? $7 million, that's why. Why does Max Kepler continue to get at bats? $10 million. And why will Aaron Nola be game 1 starter? $24.5 million. Now, look, I pray to God I'm wrong. But at this point, I'm just speaking for myself, and I'm sure there are people out there that agree with me at this point, but when I look at Aaron Nola, I just assume the offense has to score at least 7. Now, can they do it? Yeah, they can, because this offense is really good. I mean, JT Realmuto is getting hot right now, which is great. Kyle Schwarber's an MVP candidate. Harper's getting hot at the right time. Like, things are going well for them, and this offense can explode, no question. But, man, am I going to be pissed off when that scenario rolls around, when the Phillies clinch the division, when the playoff seeding is set, and when game 1 of a best-of-5 comes up, and the Phillies force Aaron Nola into a game 1 situation. All the build-up confidence that clearly isn't there, hoping to God that he somehow turns back the clock and gets right. You know, the Phillies gave him that massive contract because they said, oh, well, you know, he takes the ball every 5th day. And there's some good with that, obviously. He's reliable, but then there's some bad because he's pitched a lot. And I don't necessarily know if Aaron Nola is completely cooked, but I know he's cooked for this season. And maybe he'll be a pleasant surprise. Well, the Phillies are in trouble because one of the things that they had going for them was their starting rotation, and now I look at it as a big, big weakness being, you know, hanging on by a thread. Because you've got Christopher Sanchez that everybody has the utmost confidence in. But after that, you've got Ranger Suarez, who is leaking oil and usually has leaked oil late into the season. And I'm a huge Ranger Suarez guy, but that's just the reality. You've got Jesus Luzardo, who has not been right for a while. He's kind of up and down. You don't know what you're getting with that. Taijuan Walker's actually been pitching pretty well, but then you've got Aaron Nola, who's a shit show. You want to bring up Andrew Painter? Fine. He has not pitched well in AAA. Just hasn't. You want to rely on him? So now you're looking at a situation where you're relying on your bullpen. Duran's great. Can you get to Duran? I think they can. I think the best-of-5 series is going to be the big problem because you can't afford to throw out Aaron Nola in a best-of-5, and they're going to. They're going to, and they're going to do it game 1. And I thought they would throw out Aaron Nola in game 2, which is what they've done, you know, the past couple of years. They've thrown Wheeler in game 1 and Aaron Nola in game 2. And that situation's not as bad because at least then with Wheeler on the mound, you have a lot of confidence they're going to win that game. I know they didn't last year, but you have a lot of confidence they're going to win that game. And at that point, you're going to and you go, okay, like I can split. That's not as bad. Going down 0-1 in a series is just, it's tough. I've never liked best of 5. That includes the year the Phillies beat the Braves. I don't like it. But in this situation, yeah, the Phillies are about to piss me off in about 6 weeks. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Who do you guys think is going to start game 1 of the playoffs? Let me know in the comment section. Now is the part where I beg you guys to subscribe. Just hit the button. All right? You know where it is at this point. You can hit thumbs up. You can hit thumbs down and me being a hater. Oh, you're such a hater. Trust me, brings me no joy to make these videos. It's the reason why I don't really make a lot of Eagles videos because there's nothing to complain about with that team. But yeah, let me know. And I'm going to go watch Netflix now.